Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? How are you? How are you guys? Let me take a look here. Let me take a look here. Sorry, I was a bit late. Ah, hey, Cuba. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Your words are everything for me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm super glad. This is the reason. This is the reason I wake up every morning, grind, try to improve every day so I can share with you guys. And I'm super glad that uh you are getting value out of everything that I share. Thank you for your words, Cuba. Hello, Patrick. Hey, Diane. Hello, Orlando. Hi, Sina, Salman. Hey, Lucas. Hi, Kevin. Tesla. Yeah. We're going over Tesla. Actually, yeah, you will love Tesla. I didn't take anything on Tesla. I didn't take anything on Tesla, but I identified three different opportunities for entry, and they all were based on relative strength. So you will see. You will see. Just give me a few minutes. Hey, Tocayo. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hola, Carlita. Hey, Neto, your trick with just closing the broker and the laptop and walk away work. Nice. It's a shame that you actually try it because that means that you had a loss or a few losses, just as we discussed yesterday. But this is great. Yeah, after three trades. Yeah. So, but I mean, the first step, Orlando, that's well, that's very good. That's exactly what I was about to say. So the first step, and I think the most important step is awareness. I mean, once you identify what is actually triggering you, once you identify that you are not on your A game, that you are not on your, like 100% on your full mental state for trading, and you identify and you are aware that that's happening, that's the most important step. Why? Because once you are aware, you can take you can take action, right? So you can step away, you can just close your broker, you can start doing things. But the first step and the most important step, it's awareness. All right. So I'm glad that this worked for you, Orlando. Hey, Retro Chimp, welcome to this community, welcome to this family. As not sure if you read the channel description, but this is a community. This is a blend of a few communities. We trade the break and retest strategy, usually on the 1 minute, but because we are only taking a look to intraday plays. On this channel, we don't take a look to any swings. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm not super good with swings, and I will tell you a different story later. But right now, my account for swings is being used in something else, in a personal project. So right now I'm not swinging. But anyway, even if I had the funds for swinging, I'm not I'm not good at swinging. I don't know why. It's just it's a different game, right? It's a different game. So you will see here explanation of my playbook, that it's different to the different coaches and mentors we have on the different communities. But you will hear about my playbook, and then you will hear about different entry opportunities based on the break and retest. Like based on market structure, or just support, resistance, or you will see different things. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Remember, it's a must, you need to like the videos and subscribe to the channel so you can get all notifications. Actually, yesterday we posted something nice, and this is for all of you guys. Not sure if you remember, but yesterday we were talking about books recommendation, trading related, investment related, building habits and routine related. So I posted that on the channel. I shared with you around my 10 favorite books. Again, trading, investment, wealth management, habits and routines related. So I hope that you enjoy that. And if you want to discuss any of the books, any of the ideas, that I mean, this is the right place. And if you can share your favorite books or a book that just changed your life, changed your way, changed the way that you look at the things, it will be very appreciated. So welcome, Retro Chimp. Um, okay, Speedo, any good prop firm out there for options? You know what? I personally don't know any prop firm for options trading. Uh, not not sure if anyone here knows about one. I mean, I do know for futures. I do know for forex. I even know for some commodities, but not for options. Because of the nature of the options trading, the risk, and all that stuff. I don't know a prop firm, but if anyone knows one here and you just want to drop a rec, that will be fine. Um, AK, do you trade live on here? No, I don't. You know what? I'm pretty good on my strategy. And it's not ego talking. I've been improving a lot. I mean, since last year, I increased my win rate and my risk reward, and now I feel like really comfortable with my strategy and my execution and my performance. However, the times that I try to live stream, stress, anxiety take over. So I still don't feel comfortable, like, live trading. But soon. I hope soon. With Tony and Jack, they told me that I should be practicing so they can actually take vacations. I can take over a day or two, or just like join the live stream. It's just I don't feel comfortable. So the other thing that I think that I feel I'm good at, it's like teaching and looking at potential trades. So that's exactly where I started, and why I started this community, this YouTube channel, because I see there's a lot of people understanding the mechanicals, understanding the strategy, understanding how to chart, but they don't understand completely how to apply, the best execution, or how to use other confluences or correlations, specifically with the indices. That's the screen that you are actually watching in your screen. So I use correlation with the indices, and I like to trade with the trend. I mean, with the indices trend, not against it. But that's my particular style. That's what I told you. That, I mean, I explained you how to play with my playbook. However, I mean, we share different opportunities here. So welcome to everyone that is new here. And Hive, can look at Amazon? Yes. Hola Felipe. Hey DC. They barely take days off. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the good thing is that, I mean, they are so good trading, and I don't think this job or it's like, like a burden, or like something that especially Jack. I've been talking with Jack, and he actually enjoys a lot the live streams, because trading in front of hundreds of people makes him accountable. So I mean, and that's the same way that I feel with this trade review, right? Because I just knowing just knowing that I need to be here with you. What is this? I'm sorry, guys. So just knowing that I need to be here with you and that I need to explain things to you and that you will be looking at my levels and you will be looking at how aware I am on like on the different plays and everything. So that makes me accountable, and so that's the way I like to to be prepared for you. So that's the same thing with Jack. That's the same thing with Jack. He enjoys a lot, and Tony. I mean, he has been teaching people for so long, and he's super good teacher. I mean, he explains things like super easy, and I really enjoy when I'm taking classes with them. Um, John, you're very welcome. Is it possible to go deep in market levels? How you draw it and apply it for trading? Yes, Nikita. I was actually chatting with Carla this morning because we just had a charting lesson for the community, but it was on Spanish. I mean, we have a small community inside of the community that we are Spanish speaking people. So I mean, we are people from Mexico and other countries on Latin America, and we have an Italian. So Giuseppe, if you are here, thank you very much for joining the our Spanish speaking community. So we are some Latin American people here on the community. So I was kind of practicing this lesson because I want to post a lesson on how to draw levels and charting on this YouTube channel. So I already have the script. I already have the all the ideas outlined. So thank you for being so patient. I know I've been promising this charting lesson for some months now, but now it's gonna happen. Now it's gonna happen. So thank you very much, guys. Um, I guess that's why you didn't take Tesla. Exactly. I mean, because just as you know, for new people in the community. So let me try to like briefly explain my playbook. So first, I like to wait 10 to 15 minutes from market open to identify direction on the indices. I mean, it doesn't need to be like a trend or a clear trend, but at least I like to identify direction, right? So once we identify direction, I go to the tech names. I usually only watch the Max 7 plus AMD and now Palantir because of you guys. So, and my top watch list is usually AMD, Amazon, Nvidia, and Tesla. And I'm always watching SPY and QQQ because that's the my reference, right? Right. So I try to correlate my trades to whatever the indices are doing. So on my screen, I usually have just the two indices and four names, and I'm just switching between names. If some of the name is not like on hot play, I'm just trying to switch it. And so direction on the indices, looking at the tech names, and I'm looking for the ones that are moving on the same direction than the indices, all right? And then I look for the ones with the relative strength or the relative weakness moving on the same direction than the indices. And my fourth entry criteria or my fourth step is to identify visually related key levels. So for example, today I was expecting SPY to break and retest 623.23. That was a key level on the 15-minute chart. So I was expecting a drop, then a pullback. So I'm starting to look for any of my names on the watch list that they need to break a level. It doesn't need to be the same level, it's just a key level. And they need the same pullback. So it's visually correlated to whatever I'm expecting the indices to do. So that's kind of my playbook. I know it's super simplified, but that's how it works. And usually that's how we are looking for entry opportunities here on this exercise. However, we also look for different opportunities based on market structure or the names with the relative strength or relative weakness against the indices direction or trend. All right. So I'm sorry I already took 17 minutes from your time explaining a lot of things, saying hi to people and explaining how the community works. But that, I mean, I think it's worthy to welcome other people, explain what we do here, so they can like the like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and tell other people to join. J Dub is an animal. Yeah, he gives so much sauce. Yeah. I mean, if you guys are on J Dub's community, you should be taking all the live streams, and also you should not skip, or you must not skip the weekly review on Saturday morning. Uh, Saturday morning, they are. He has a weekly review, so he goes over his trades, his reasoning, his weekly plan, and he goes with his with his journal. So you actually see when he entered a position, how he trimmed the position, how he's selling contracts on strength. So that it's a very nice exercise. So if you guys can watch the weekly review, I think that's one of the most valuable things on that community. Um, Sometimes goes 4 hours. Yeah, I mean, I never seen a session with JDub of less than 90 minutes. All right. Okay, guys. So let's take a look to this. So I was watching Apple. Again, Apple, as usual, it's doing its own thing. It's not looking at the indices for anything. So what we saw here was this. Well, let me take out this screen. All right. So we were watching this pre-market high as a key level for retesting. So right at the market open, we broke this level here. I didn't draw a position tool here just because this is too early in the morning, right? So it's 9:38, 9:37. That's why I don't, I don't try anything like this, because I mean, first it's Apple, and guys, for the new guys here, we don't trust Apple. that's that's a particular thing. That's a personal thing. I don't trust Apple, but I mean, I watch it here because some of you trade Apple, still trade Apple. So I mean, well, anyways, so this is just too early in the morning, so I was waiting for some more confirmation, some more information about the price action here. So we tried to create a new high here. It was 941, and it came back to three different key levels. So the key levels that were kind of respected here is this pre-market high, is this today's opening price, and also this 210, or well, I mean, I had 210.19 as a key level on the 50-minute chart, but I mean, if you can see here, these two candles actually went all the way to 210. So 210, it's a strike number, round number, side number. That's why it was super important. So once you have this reaction here, you can start thinking on this reclaim of the pre-market high. Immediate retest, this is a baby displacement here, but anyways, I mean, you can take a position right here. Why? Because this is kind of an 84% rule, and this is the reason why. market structure is intact. So even when we went deeper than expected on these candles, as you can see, market structure is intact. So this is a higher low, right? So just because market structure is intact, you can actually take a position right here on the reclaim of this level. Actually, we had this pullback retest on this pre-market high. Usually, when the 84% rule happens, it's actually just a reclaim. I mean, it's not as often that you have a break and retest of that key level and then just continuation. So, but here we broke pre-market high, came back, retested, and then we will take this candle here when it actually, like engulfs the previous candles here or the body here. But I mean, now you are watching good reaction. So you are watching good reaction. So if you take a position here and you aim to the high of the day, look at this. This is a 1 to 3 risk reward rate to trade. Even if you enter at the top of this previous candle here, it was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward rate to trade. And look at this. You maintain market structure, and this actually went way higher, right? So for me, this is the very first opportunity. This one I don't like it just because it's inside of the first 10 minutes on the first 10 minutes on the market. So that's why I wouldn't consider this as an opportunity. I don't like this kind of opening plays because it's actually, I mean the only opening plays that I like are like the gap and goes, but this was not like a decent gap up, right? So okay, so this is kind of like 84% rule, but it's on the same. Look at this. It's actually on the same key level. So this will be like exactly my first try, right? So you have it here. So after this, if you miss this one, you have this break, displacement, and retest of what? High of the day, 5-minute opening range. And I know I don't like this. Again, this is probably a side note on my playbook. I don't like to buy calls this close to high of the day. However, look at the relative strength here, despite the indices going lower. I'm pushing lower, like heavily pushing lower, right? So that's why I will trust it. Well, I mean, I will never trust Apple, but if you are trading Apple, this will be a nice entry opportunity here, especially because you have very clear external liquidity objectives here. So if you were aiming to previous day low, look at this. This is a 1 to 2 point something risk reward rate to trade, and you actually get it in 3 minutes. But I think the real objective here will be this 212, let's say 212 right here, and this was a 1 to 2.6 risk reward rate to trade, and you actually got a few more, right? So if you take it to here, it was a 3.8 risk reward rate to trade. So I like this second chance here. I like more this one because it was an 84% rule, but without taking the first try. So this was a nice second opportunity here. All right. Which one? This is the first one or the second one? Both of them were nice. And just let me know if you have similar stop losses and similar targets, right? In between, like here on this 1 minute opening range, maybe. Dian, Neto, did you have problems with respecting stop losses at the beginning? Did you hold the losers longer, and how did you deal with it? Yeah, well, let me tell you this, Dian. When I learned options trading, the community that I belong, they used to trade support resistant intraday support resistant breakouts on SPY on the 5 minute chart. So I started there. I actually learned super fast and I started being profitable like in the first months. So my first year I was profitable, but not very consistent. So I started trying, to refine my system because I really I really like that system. I really like that system because they taught me my risk management, and this guy, Andy and Tiles, this guy, I mean, he's super calm, he's super chill, and he's taking a trade, and he actually sets a hard stop loss with a fixed percentage because he's looking for breakouts, right? So he is super successful, and I learned from him. So I started looking for different names, and I started learning that these breakouts usually are uh, correlated with the indices, right? So when I started learning, I just traded SPY, but when I started evolving, I started with tech names, and the tech names were moving with QQQ and SPY. So I started doing breakout on the tech names, and at first, it was a nightmare, DM, because sometimes, I mean, if I hit it, if I can just hit it, I was having 100%, 200%. My record, it's a 425% trade, right? But when it didn't work, I mean, it was super hard for me to identify an invalidation level. And sometimes I was, like with the 60% drawdown, 50% drawdown. And again, I was being profitable. I was having green months, but the emotions, how do the emotions carousel was just being too much. So that's when I started the break and retest strategy, because it was super easy to identify my invalidation level, right? So I'm just waiting for the breakout. I'm waiting for the breakout, and I started like, like holding my hands below my legs, like, like locking my hands. So I didn't trace the breakout, right? So I was forcing me to be patient. So I was looking for the breakout, and then I was just waiting for the retest, right? I was waiting for the retest, and I was waiting for the next candle to confirm the movement. So now I was finding higher probability moves, higher probability moves, and that's exactly what I started doing. So I just stopped my ego, like, so if it comes beyond my key level and it just invalidates my idea, I just cut it, because now I have a lot of confidence on my setups, right? Because I know they work more times than they don't, right? So it's because I have a lot of confidence on my setups, and I'm playing nicely with my risk reward. It's so now, I mean, if a trade just hits my stop loss, I'm okay, just, like closing my position. Why? Because I know and I understand that my setup, my strategy works more often than it doesn't. So it's, if this time it didn't work, I just close it, and usually probabilities say that the next one is gonna work. So I just, like try to keep my losses small and my winners big. And I know this sounds kind of cliche, but that's one of the best things about the break and retest strategy, that your invalidation level is so clear, and you don't need to fight it. You don't need to fight your invalidation level. If it's that clear, you take the setup, and that's it. And that's it. And well, not sure if I answered your question, but that's how I mean that's how I started, like respecting my stop loss. Uh, because I had a lot of confidence. I had a lot of confidence on my setup, and it's super clear. I mean, right here, if price, like for example here, right? Like I mean, we were looking for this 5 minute opening range high of the day. So I know that if price comes back below this white box or below this 5 minute opening range, what is gonna happen here? I mean, if price wants to come below this, well, I mean, usually this is just gonna go lower, right? So now I have an invalidated thesis, and I don't pack this, right? I mean, you don't hope that this is gonna come back soon, because I mean, it may, but it may not. So I mean, again, it's just like one of the reasons that I also take my losses fast is because my stop loss, it doesn't tell me anything about me, right? I mean, if I take a loss, it's not that I'm a dumb trader. It's not that I'm a loser. It's not that I'm, like it's just, it's just protecting my capital, right? So uh, I detach the outcome of my trades to my self-esteem, to my self-worth, and that also help a lot. I know this is not easy thing. I know this comes with experience, and experience comes with losses, and losses comes with scars. So experience equals scars. But I mean, if you can use someone else's scars like mine for you to, to improve your execution and your strategy, and so you don't need to suffer what I did. So it's gonna be better, right? uh how about Apple above previous day high? Well, yeah, well, so I mean, this candle here, 1021, I really love that candle. Look at this reaction, how it came back, retested previous day high, and the next candles here are nice. I mean, it just didn't work, right? And why it didn't work? I think because it was. I mean, Apple never, like moves too many points in a day. I mean, when Apple moves, it's like this, right? I mean, if you take it from here to here, that's it. That's what Apple is gonna give you. Not too much. I mean, the Apple is not a name that moves 10 points in a day, right? So that's part of how you need to learn about your tickers, a hive. You need to identify how much they move on a regular day, how they react to news. For example, something that I mean, it's not like fact. It's not like hard cold data. But sometimes I see that when people start moving to Apple, spy, like spy falls. And when people is going out of Apple, I think investors look at Apple like a safe asset. So once they feel safe on the market, they start, taking their money out of Apple and going to riskier assets like SPY. But that, don't take this as a lesson. I mean, take this as a, as a comment, as an opinion. But that's how I feel Apple works in correlation with SPY and other names, right? So okay, well, that was Apple. Yes, there I see a third opportunity here, like this break and retest of previous day high. I like the reaction right here, 1021. But this is just too much for Apple in a day, so I might be, like hesitant to take something like this. And also look at this. I mean, the indices were at the bottom of the channel. So yeah, I think that's context that it's not letting me take an Apple trade here. All right, so let's go to AMD, guys, and just give me 1 second. All right, so AMD is one of the names that move. Usually, it moves in correlation with the indices. All right, so we created this range here, this 5 minute opening range, and then we had this 941 candle. As you can see, we broke this 155 key level on the 15-minute chart. This 150, it's yesterday's. I mean, this 155, it's yesterday's belly button, right? It's yesterday's belly button. It worked as support, then it worked as resistance, and so it's 155. It's yesterday's belly button. So once we broke this 155, and look at all these candle reactions here. Look at all these candle reactions here. So this might be not as perfect break displacement retest of this, but when you see all these reactions like this, I mean, if this is not weakness for you, I don't know what it is, right? But look at this. I mean, you have very similar reactions on top of these candles to the bottom of these candles. So once you have this nice reaction here, this nice candle wick here, it's actually breaking this 155 and being rejected. So now I will take my chances here. And as you can see here, if you take a position right here and you aim to low of the day right here, this was a 1 to 2.2 risk reward rated trade. But if you take it to the bottom of all these candles here, it was a 1 to 2.9. So I know this was a hard play. This is a hard play, but this is for you guys that are new on this community. I like more taking puts, right? I like more taking puts. I feel more comfortable taking puts, and I think I feel I'm better taking puts. So when I watch this kind of weakness, I like my chances taking trades to the downside. I know this is in media retest. We are not having any displacement here, but well, this is just something that I want. This is something that I wanted you to watch, because this will be a trade that I take, right? So a second opportunity here was this. Again, this price came all the way up, but look at this. It failed to create a higher high, right? So it failed to create a higher high. So because it's failing hard here, you can expect market structure to the downside. So I'm gonna do this so it's actually easier to see. But can you see here, guys, how it's doing this lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows? So this is kind of, well, this is just consolidation here, but look at this. So can you see here, once you fail to create a higher high here and the indices are looking super weak, now you can start tracking market structure, right? So if market structure is giving you nice entries, you take them, right? You take them because this is nice continuation to the downside, right? So this was my second entry here, and as you can see, this is actually kind of a 84% rule, right? Because we are taking the same key level as a reference, the same entry point right here. Actually, these three opportunities are kind of the same thing. So we are taking the break and retest of this 155 here. Remember, it was the belly button from yesterday's session. So break, retest here, and I was like, okay, well, let's take the ride to the downside. And right here you are aiming to low of the day. So this is a 1 to 3 risk reward rate to trade, like these candles here, right? And it actually went all the way to 154. So this is a 1 to 4 risk reward rate to trade. And then you came back here, look at the reaction on the indices. I think Trump was saying something about firing Jerome Powell or something like that. So if you were aware of reactions on this 155 that actually offered 2 or 3 different opportunities this morning. So 155 was free money all the all the morning. Can you see? Free money all the morning. So if you took this one here with the reaction on the indices, even if you look at this, even if you take it here, just because the reaction on the indices, this thing will be, I mean, it was clear that it was gonna be pushed to the previous day low. And this trade here, it's even with this, ugly entry, but just imagine that you take it right here and you are taking all these risks, or maybe just to 155. It was almost a 1 to 4 risk reward rate to trade. But even if you try to sell here, look at this candle. I mean, this candle went all the way to pre-market low. All the way to pre-market low. So if you take this third opportunity, it was a 1 to 6 risk reward rate to trade. So anyone took AMD trades today? Anyone took AMD trades today? No one? That's fine. All right. All right. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Right there. Okay. So next one here, it's Amazon. Amazon was also kind of weak, right? So if you, let's talk about 225. What about 225? Well, 225 has been a key level for some days and maybe some weeks, right? If you remember this chart here, we had this 225 alarm for some days the last week, right? So we were expecting a break of this 225. So now that we are breaking down 225, we can expect to use 225 as a pivot, right? So if we are using this 225 as a key level of reference, look at this break, displacement, retest of 225. So if you were aware of this 225 key level on the 15-minute chart, key level on the daily chart, round number, side number, strike number. So look at all of the reference on this 225. So if you take this trade to the downside, look at this. This is a very nice and neat break, displacement, retest 225. And then you can start aiming to low of the day. So if you were aiming to low of the day, this was almost a 1 to 4 risk reward rate to trade. Look at this. 1 to 4 risk reward rate to trade. Then you came back, rejected previous day low several times, and what happened? Look at this. After this is actually nice, and this is why you need to be ready. You need to be alert when the market is open, right? So here you have 2 different opportunities. So here, for example, as you can see, if you draw this trend line, you are watching these lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So this trend line is being rejected, right? So if you are watching these rejections close to this pivot high, right at the previous day low. This, my friends, this is weakness. This is weakness. So if you were watching this third, one, two, three, four, five, six, like this seventh rejection, but this is more clear. This is clearer. How do you say that? Clearer, or more clear? Well, anyway. So this is a clear rejection. This is a clear rejection of this trend line. So not only is a clear rejection of the trend line, both. All right. So this is not only a clear rejection of the trend line, this is also a rejection of the previous day low. So you can actually open your position here, and then, like, if you were aiming to this pivot low, that was a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio trade. If you were aiming to low of the day, that was a 1 to 7 risk reward ratio trade. And if you left runners to go to the next levels, I mean, this could be like an amazing trade for you guys. So, and look at this. Even because people were asking me this morning, like, hey Neto, what do you think about taking a trade on news candle? And I was like, well, I mean, it depends of the relative strength and the relative weakness. So, for example, this name was already showing you a lot of weakness, right? It was already showing you a lot of weakness. So, what happens if you chase this move? Like, oh my gosh, look at this candle here. What is gonna happen here? Well, right here, if you open a position here, your risk is gonna be hard to identify. But let's say you have your risk to 225, right? Because that was the key level used the whole day, right? So let's say that you had your risk to 225 and you were aiming to what? To low of the day. Well, low of the day was offering you 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. But the most important thing here is that the indices were dying, right? Like they were melting. So you can expect the indices to take a few more time before balancing, right? Before balancing, because you will see that after a few minutes or maybe a few hours, SPY actually recovered everything. But look at this. SPY went all the way to 618. 618. So if you take a trade right here, you can aim first to low of the day. Now that you see that you actually got low of the day, you are now waiting for market structure to be built to the downside. So look at this. This is the break and retest of low of the day. It came back, pulls back, and pulls back to external liquidity. This 224.24, it's a key level on the daily chart. So look at the reaction right here. Look at these candle wicks right here. So you have another push to the downside. Where is this push? Next external liquidity level, 222.37. That's a key level on the daily chart. So if you were waiting for something like, maybe not all the way to here, but what about this 222? This was a 1 to almost 6 risk reward rated trade. And this is just based on news candles and looking at how aggressive are the indices reacting. All right. A hive, Amazon 934. Amazon 934. What is this? What you were looking here, a hive. The break and retest or weakness on the pre-market low, 934. You took puts below pre-market low, got stop out, Yeah, yeah, but I want to understand. I mean, what you were looking here. Well, we open. Yeah. Okay. Well, now I get it. We open below previous day low or very close to previous day low. Yeah. Well, this was. I mean, it was. This is exactly what I wait 10, 15 minutes because this is just too aggressive. It actually worked out later in the day, right? But just because this was 4 minutes into the market, I mean, you still don't have time here, and people can be trying to defend key levels here to 24. So this is just, I mean, we don't have enough information right here, 934, 935. And as you can see here, I mean, yes, I mean, it was a good bet. Where did you got stop out? Like right here to 25? Yeah, I mean, it looked good. It's just too early in the morning, right? I mean, you don't have intraday information to build something. Yeah, okay. So you got stop out here, close above pre-market low, uh, close above pre-market low. Maybe this one here, 940. I got out. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's just different, right? But I this is just too aggressive for me. And then Tokayo 941 mid candle retest of pre-market low. Uh, Stop out 946. 946. Okay, so this was super tight stop loss. Re-entered 950. Nice one. So yeah, you actually try. Yeah, well, look at this. So this is something that I will trust more a Hive because now you are watching this key level. I mean, this 1 minute opening range low being rejected once and then reclaim here. And look at this. It's actually being rejected. I know. I mean, you may not know this because this happened later, but this is the key level that it's being rejected, right? So rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. Actually went down, went lower, rejected here, came back. Now we are reclaiming this level to the downside. So this 1 minute opening range low, that was like the level to watch. But this 934, it was just too early in the day. Um, Sometimes you do the right thing and lose. At least you did your system. Yeah. So and and this is something that I say very often. But in trading, uh, in trading, everything works sometimes, and anything works all the time, right? So you need to be prepared. You need to be trading into your system and be prepared to be stop out if your idea didn't work at first, just as this one, right? I mean, it worked later in the day, so you just got an early entry. But I think that's why you wait a bit more. I mean, this is just too early in the day, right? So let's go to the next one, guys. Let's go to the next one. So this is Nvidia. Do you remember I told you I don't like to trade Nvidia because I have shares, and also I'm kind of feeling unprepared for taking all-time highs. So this is where I feel confident. I mean, once you have levels to pursue, once you have levels to watch. So I was watching this. I like this break, this placement retest of what the previous day close, 5 minute opening range, and look at this. Look at these candle wicks, right? So it was price was struggling with this 170.60. So once you break this 170.60 5-minute opening range, look at these reactions here, right? Look at all of the reactions here. So this was a nice trade here. Not sure if anyone took, even if you didn't take this and you say like, okay, well, I waited for the next one. You now have more information. Or even if you didn't take this and you waited for this one, look at this. You now have more information. So this was the play that I was watching, right? 170. I mean, the break and retest of the 5-minute opening range low. That's the setup that I like. I mean, it's in my top three. The ones that I like the most is the break and retest of previous day high and low. But the second one, it's the 5-minute opening range high and low. So this just worked perfectly, not only once, not only twice, but more times in the day, right? More times in the day. And this went all the way to previous day low and pre-market low. And I think this pre-market low, this was not on my Webull. I think Webull was showing you this just to the gap. But anyways, I mean, this was a very nice play after watching all weakness around this 5-minute opening range low, right? The next one is Tesla. Who was asking for Tesla? So I was watching a few different plays in Tesla today. The first one, I didn't like it because, again, look at this, 938. So I know this is a nice break, displacement, retest of the pre-market high, 1-minute opening range high, and this, guys, this is the previous week high. You can see here, but this one, 314.09. Let me take you there. 314.09 is this level here. It's previous week high. So that was a very nice key level to watch. However, I like more this 315, right? As you can see here, 315 was again the middle of this Monday, the middle of this Tuesday, and well, look at this. So I like more this reclaim of this 315. I mean, I felt more comfortable taking bullish plays above this 315 and not this 314. 314 again, external liquidity. This was previous week high, but I was feeling more comfortable with this 315. So I think this is the play that Tony took, and as you can see, it's a very nice break, displacement retest, pre-market high, 1-minute opening range, last week high. So if you open your position here, I mean, everything worked, right? I don't need to measure this. But then we had a second opportunity here. So this is the break, displacement retest of high of the day, 5-minute opening range, right? So this is the high of the day, 5-minute opening range, and look at this, 942. Again, it's still early in the day, but this thing, it's already showing you good risk reward. I mean, if you were aiming to just 317.50 because that's the strike number, you enter your position here, you have your stop loss at the bottom of this retesting candle, and you are aiming to 317.50. That's a strike number. It was a 1 to 3 risk reward rate to trade. Again, this went all the way to 318.50. 318.50, it's also well, I mean, I don't have it here, but this is a an important key level on Tesla, 318.50. That has been a key level on Tesla. So now you have this play here, and it actually worked nice, right? But then you have two different opportunities here. So if you are watching this order block that was created with this high of the day, you have two different opportunities. I mean, if you take this one here, this is, I mean, this is not as good. Well, it's actually 122.4 or 122 residual rate to trade if you take it here, right? But if you take this one here, I mean, these actually have way better price action right here. Why? Because it goes deep into this order block and then closes above the order block. So this reaction here is telling you, okay, I'm not going to the order block anymore. So if you open your position on the next candle and you were aiming to high of the day right here, this was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward rate to trade. I like this one more than just this small touch. And the other thing is, I mean, you should not be watching the indices here, right? Because they were melting and Tesla had a lot of relative strength. And again, this is the play that Tony in our community and the Scarface community took. Uh, he's way more into choosing the names with relative strength or relative weakness, or well, actually relative strength, because they don't like to take puts as much as I do. I mean, they do take them, but they don't like them too much, right? So that's why they were looking for the one with the relative strength. So uh that's why these plays were out of my sight, because Tesla was actually pumping while the indices, look at this, they were melting, right? They were just dropping, they were going lower. So that's why I didn't have Tesla on my watch list this morning. And the next one, it's Microsoft here. Microsoft, this is the break, displacement, and retest of this 1 minute opening range. But also, you have this 504 right here. 504 right here. So I like this one here because the indices were super weak. They were super weak. So if you open your position on this candle here, you were aiming to this low of the day. This was a 1 to 2.7 residual rate to trade. But if you were aiming to previous day low, it was a 1 to 3.3 residual rate to trade. And that was everything that I watched on Microsoft. Palantir, we had this break of this 149 retest, and I was watching to this. This was a 1 to 2.7. Let me go to the chat. On stream they were talking about puts, and Jack said he doesn't even remember last time he took a put. Yeah, I can believe. The thing is that, and that's one of the reasons I like them more, because elevator down, escalator up, that's how puts move. So I like that speed, right? I like that speed. But sometimes I mean, sometimes they move so fast that when you are actually live streaming your trading session with hundreds of people in front of you, you want to make sure that everyone is on board when you are taking your place. So I think that's one of the reasons that Jack don't like to take puts. So just for you to know, all right. Um, when you see a stock going down, do you buy or sell puts? I buy puts. On Okay. When Neto, when you do backtest, do you use the same tool by Mina or you mark your intraday levels by yourself? You know what? I use the Tradezella thing, so I can't use the Traders Lab tool. Uh, but I don't I don't backtest anymore. Now I'm forward testing, right? Because uh, I'm not looking at new names. So all of the names that I've been trading lately, I already backtested them for years. So now it's like I have a lot of confidence on my setups on most of the names. So now I'm just forward testing so I can adjust my approach to these names or identify the market cycle for you, the end that you are on the trader's lab. So I'm trying to identify the market cycle they are and adapt my approach to these names. Because I am backtesting and I cannot use this tool on Tradezella. Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, uh, so yeah, you need to do it manually on Tradezella. And okay, that was Apple. Meta. I want to show you something, guys. These were my two trades on SPY today. I took puts and then I took calls. So I was watching this 623 key level on SPY. 623.23. This has been a key level. Look at this. This was a strong key level yesterday. So once we broke this key level here and watching all of these reactions here, can you see all these candle wicks? I decided to take puts right here, 946. And I took, let me tell you what I took. I took 623 puts right here, 623 puts right here, and I was, selling into strength. I sold right here below this 5-minute opening range. I sold right here, majority of my position right here on this huge candle. Then I sold more here, and I closed my position when we hit and broke this previous day low. And then I was watching this recovery here, retest of this previous day low, and I like this change of character. So I took six, let me tell you. Now I took 623 calls. I took 623 calls right here, and I bought my first contracts here, or my position here, and then I sold when it came to this pivot high, hold all this market structure, and when this candle broke this 5-minute opening range, I sold my position. This was a smaller position because I just was trying to take the ride to the upside. But this was what I took this morning. Two SPY trades. Uh, Neto, you didn't stop out of those calls. No, I mean no. My stop loss was right here on the previous day low, so I didn't take. I didn't take a loss here. Also, right here I already took some profits. So this one, I was just holding. I understand the risk that I take because I'm taking same day expiration on SPY. So I'm just trading and risking what I'm comfortable with. If I'm oversizing on this kind of place, emotions can kick in like super fast. But because I'm comfortable with what I'm risking here, I I'm able to just manage my positions here, and like the P&L is not affecting my decisions. But I'm watching price action here. Look at this. I mean, I'm not looking for the long home runs. I'm just like looking for these pushes to key levels, and that's exactly what I did. Cuba, I took Palantir 1023, 1023 right here. This breakout of this previous pivot high, and these kind of range reclaims are now part of my strategy in the ranching markets. Was looking for the 150 psych number. Okay. I found these kind of setups play better than the break and retests. Also, Palantir bounce off previous all-time highs. Yes, that's true. And was doing higher lows. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So this is how I will watch at this, because here you failed to create lower lows. You should be expecting that if it closes above this pivot high, this is your change of character, right? I mean, this is your new market structure. Um, so Cuba, so that's your awareness moment, my friend. I mean, if you see a different strategy, a different setup that fits better your risk tolerance, your skills, your price action reading, I mean, go for it. Go for it. That's exactly what I've been telling you on the Traders Lab as your performance coach. Uh, you need to fit your strategy into your personality and not the other way around. So if this works better for you, go for it, my friend. I mean, this is market structure. This is the breakout of this market structure, breakout of this people high. Yeah, that was easy, right? Exactly what this is said. Where is your stop loss? The thing is that if you are here, I mean, if you are just if you are like waiting for the break of this people high, you may have like a tight stop loss, because if you are trying to do a stop loss strategy like we do most of the time, it's just too much of a risk, right? And well, that was all for me, guys, today. I included this kind of trade review for my SPY uh, puts and then calls. I hope that you enjoy it. I mean, it's just a different approach to what we do every day. I didn't see anything like full fulfill my eyes, and like I didn't see anything like super juicy on the tech names, so I took these two trades. And well, do you have a reference when trading SPY? I do. I mean, I like to trade outside of the channels, so this was my channel for me, 623 and 626, something like that. I actually have two alarms right here. Look at this. My 625, I mean, I was expecting, like kind of a break and retest of this 625, and 623. All right. So once we broke 623, I was interested on this lower third of this channel, right? Like, I mean, if you break this whole channel in three, this 623 was kind of the lower third of this channel. So I was expecting this move to the downside. I mean, I missed all this, but I mean, it was inside of my system. When it actually went higher, I took all the way to this 623.23. So I took my money on puts, I took my money on calls, and then I missed this one because today my parents left to Mexico, so I just wanted to say goodbye and everything, so I stopped trading. Right. Uh, Neto, I've been watching VIX. Is it a great? It is a great confluence for the indices. I don't know. I mean, if you can explain that further, that would be awesome. I understand why the VIX is, but I don't have an edge of using the VIX for my trades on the indices. All right, guys. So I need to go. Thank you very much. Welcome to all the new ones on this community, on this family. Please, 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 please like the video, subscribe to the channel so you can get all the notifications. And I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you here. Thank you, guys. Bye.